Thinking about buying a franchise? Then the How to Buy a Franchise show is just for you. Here's your host, Dr. John Hayes.
I'm John Hayes, the host of the How to Buy a Franchise show, and I blog at howtobuyafranchise.com. Welcome. I am talking to the Payroll Vault franchisor today. Marilyn Manning, you are you're in charge of franchise development.
I am.
How many franchises do you have for Payroll Vault?
Oh, we're moving into the mid-30 range. We've been growing very quickly.
Relatively new franchise.
Yeah, we're still kind of in that emerging brand level,
yes,
but we've been in operation for the last 4 years, and 2017 is looking like it's going to be pretty great exponential growth for us.
Well, the business-to-business niche is one of the best to be in for franchising, because businesses are continuing to expand and grow, and more businesses, and they need services like payroll service. I have a very interesting, I don't know how interesting it is. It's a story that I was a college professor at Temple University in Philadelphia, and I went into my own business kind of by accident because I was a professor. But franchisors were calling me to do a variety of work for them, and suddenly I had some employees. And I would, at the end of the week, just get my checkbook out and I would write the check and I would give them a check. I didn't know there were payroll taxes, and I particularly didn't know there were payroll penalties. One day, I was contacted by the IRS saying, I don't know what tax it was that they wanted. As a franchise operator, as a business operator, I'm a writer, a promoter, a marketer. I don't care about payroll. Now, I know I care about it when I want to collect it. I care about my people caring about it. I want them to have it. They care about it. I got in I had to pay like $2,000 in fine money. Well, when you're a small startup business, you don't have an extra $2,000.
That's a lot of money for a small business.
To me.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, I think I started using Safeguard payroll services. Sure. And so Payroll Vault is a similar kind of business.
It is.
And so tell us, other than the story I just told you, which is a pretty good one, why would a business call you at Payroll Vault? What do they want?
Well, for exactly what John just said, is to keep you compliant and make sure that you're not going to do anything like John did that's going to get you into some financial and difficult troubles, especially when we're looking at an age right now where there's a lot of complexity, there's a lot of legislation that's coming down that business owners like you, because you're worried about running your business,
exactly.
Not worried about with payroll and any other laws and things that could be affecting it.
Yeah.
So we help you stay compliant.
Yes.
Okay,
so
that's a big one.
If you're a widget franchisee, for example, you want to sell widgets and you want to market widgets, and you're all about widgets, whatever that might be. It's not about payroll. Now, you might hire an accountant or you might hire a bookkeeper, but generally, in the beginning, I couldn't afford to do that either.
Right.
So having a payroll service was a saving grace. I can't imagine operating a business without that.
Right.
So your business is both a service provider and a franchise at the same time.
We are really in a double-edged sweet spot, because there's really not any other, I can't say not, but there's very few, if any, other companies out there that are very similar to what we do in the full service that we do. So we're a full service payroll company. So not only beyond the payroll, but we also offer a suite of auxiliary services. So timekeeping is a big issue. We just recently had some legislation that got halted, but it's on the back burner. But with overtime rule, those kinds of things are going to be really important for business owners to pay attention to. Labor posters, another big one, making sure your break room labor poster is up to date and current. HR components, pay-as-you-go workers' comp, those kinds of things. So we do offer a full service to help keep the business owner compliant and to help the business owner manage their employees. So from that as a payroll piece, and then as a franchisor, offering people, entrepreneurs, the opportunity to start up their own payroll business. So each office operates as an independent, if you will, part of our network, but it operates as a full service payroll company.
Okay, so let's get down to some nitty gritty. I want to be a franchisee. How much money do I have to pay?
So we make it actually into the entry part of that is going to be much more affordable out of the gates. We do not require a retail build out, so that's really a big savings.
I can work from home?
You can work from home. A lot of our offices do prefer to, our franchisees prefer to have an office space, so that's fine. But out of the gates, you can be owner-operator. We're looking in under the 100,000 mark.
What's your franchise fee? How much is the fee?
So our franchise fees right now, we have 3 tiered levels. So your smallest, and it's based on territory, so your smallest territory is going to be around that 20,000 mark all the way up into the under 40,000 mark.
If I pay you $20,000 for a franchise fee, you're going to train me.
Absolutely.
You're going to educate me and support me.
Yeah.
How big of a territory do I get for the small end of your franchise?
For the small end of the franchise fee, you're looking at a territory based on the size or amount of businesses within that said territory. So that's in a 10,000 business mark is what that smallest one looks like. Everything that we do is teachable. So you can have that financial background, which is helpful, but it's not necessary. We teach everything. We have a full training program. And then again, I think really the important part is an ongoing support and training that we offer for our franchise offices.
30 franchise offices you have, or are they
we're
corporate?
more about like 35.
Okay.
So we do have one corporate-owned office, which was our first office.
All right, and the 35 franchisees, typical background, are they financial people, or are they payroll people, bookkeepers, or teachers, or what are they?
So we have a great mixed group. The majority of our offices do have an accounting background. So they were accountants. They were doing a little bit of payroll. They weren't sure how they could really grow it. We give them that opportunity. So all the branding, all the marketing, all the headaches of starting up a business is all put together under the Payroll Vault brand. Entrepreneurs that are interested in, hey, this is something, I maybe have an accounting background, or I've owned a store before, I've worked for a bank or something like that, where they do have maybe some business experience. Again, not necessary, but it is helpful, but not necessary, because everything we do is teachable.
On the $20,000 investment, how much more beyond that do I need to spend to be all in?
All in, okay, so all in, we're looking at, within your first year, somewhere between $50,000 to about $125,000. Okay. At the higher end of that, John, it's going to be if you're going to have staff on board with you.
And how much training will I get from you?
You are going to get a lot of training from us. So we have our initial franchise training is 1 week. It is going to go over ownership, management, operations, so the software and learning how to run and process the payrolls, business development, marketing, branding, all of those things we teach within the first week. Beyond that, we have ongoing monthly support with our sales and marketing team. Our owner, Sean Manning, is on the call every month with our franchise offices. We have a national conference that we host once a year, and we have an owner's exchange that we host once a year.
And the number one complaint that your franchisees have would be?
Number one complaint with the franchisees, and again, this goes into the training portion of that, is probably within growth. So that is that you need to go out. It is on a relationship sales type thing. So you're meeting with business owners, you're networking, you're joining your local chambers of commerce. So having a good sales background or networking skills background, again, it's helpful. We teach you how to do that, or having someone to help you do that portion of it.
Yes.
So definitely growing. So there's plenty of opportunity that's out there in terms of growth, because we're seeing more and more business owners, if they're in that do-it-yourself kind of, my wife comes in and runs payroll every weekend, it's not a big deal, that kind of thing. Those business owners are really finding out that they can't continue to do that they are going to need to outsource. And Payroll Vault is that source, because our number one way that we have grown and been so successful is in our client service. Providing outstanding client service. That's what everybody hopes for in this day and age.
So the big difficulty here, Marilyn, has to be, if you are an accountant or a bookkeeper, you have a finance background, you are not a salesperson. You're not a marketing person.
Not all of them.
And I know this because many years ago, in fact, I had a phone coaching program in marketing specifically for accountants.
Right.
Some of them were franchisees, but many of them were just accountants who were looking for more business. They're great at doing the accounting. They're great at the number crunching. They know all the rules and the regulations. They don't have a personality, or they don't want to go out and knock on doors. They would never do that. And they don't know how to pick up the phone, and they don't know how to sell, and they don't want to. Well, you can't grow your business that way. So in many ways, perhaps your most successful franchisee would be the person who is all of that but doesn't know anything about accounting and who hires the accountant. You have any like that?
We have both.
Okay,
we do.
great.
Absolutely.
Right.
We have both.
Generally, those people are going to be more aggressive in getting the business, and it's easier for them. But because the accountants, God bless them, it's going to be difficult for them to market. But the more you do as a franchisor to help them with the marketing,
Right.
At the time that I did this, General Business Services and E.K. Williams and Comprehensive Accounting were all viable franchises, and all of them had franchisees who joined my marketing mentor program, which I did 2 times a month by telephone in those days. This was before the internet. So the training and the support that you provide, critically important. You can come from any kind of a background, really,
Right.
to get into this franchise. It's a 9 to 5 type of operation. because
Monday through
You're
Friday,
not working
yeah.
on weekends, and a lot of
Weekends
people
and
like
holidays off. You
Yeah.
know, again, business to business. So you're not, and then I think the neat thing too is it's annuitized. Once you get a payroll client with you on industry average, they're with you for
Yeah,
about
they're with
10
you.
years.
Exactly.
So that repeat sale, isn't always constantly out there. You have a great growth. It's scalable. So how much you want to take on? Most
Yes.
definitely.
This is the kind of business that if you provide a good service, I would never leave my payroll provider because
Right.
who would even want to think about it? As a business operator, the last thing you want to think about is the payroll. You want to make sure there's enough money to make the payroll, but you don't want to be dealing with it.
Right.
And so I know that feeling and I know that comfort, and this is a big advantage for franchisees. And you're in this market, this business-to-business market, where you have lots of opportunity to scale your business. Marilyn Manning has been my guest. She's in charge of franchise development for, I like this name too, Payroll Vault. Has a good ring to it. It's not one that you would easily forget. Thank you for tuning in to the How to Buy a Franchise show. Appreciate it. Got questions? Please contact me.
Thank you for listening to How to Buy a Franchise Show. If you want immediate assistance, visit howtobuyafranchise.com to contact Dr. John Hayes for a free consultation.